The Shift with Patty Handiesides.
The Christmas lights are so festive at this time of year, but installing them, well, that can be a problem. And it could cause problems to your roof. Have you ever thought of that? Bernie Staub is a home improvement expert and insurance specialist and owner of Prime Roofing Roof Rescue. Joins us with some tips to avoid disaster. So, I'm thinking I'm going to be talking to you about this. And then I started thinking, how is it that I've clipped my lights onto my roof? And I know that somewhere along the way I've probably been making a mistake all these years about it. So let's talk about some of the problems we may be dealing with when we put those lights up.
See a lot of people clip their lights to the shingles, by lifting shingles, and when it's cold and shingles are a little bit brittle, that's a recipe for disaster. Don't tell anyone, but I've done it to my own roof. Torn a couple shingles, but yeah, that gutter damage. Some people will staple right through their roof, which is definitely a bad thing. If you remember the movie Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good idea then, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit extreme, but yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, you don't want to put any holes in the roof.
The idea of putting them to your shingles is interesting because I've seen those clips. I actually didn't. I do hang them from the gutter. I don't hang them from the shingles, but I've seen the clips where the point of that is to put it under the shingles. I've never bought them, but I guess now I want to make sure I don't do that, right? Because actually to do that, I'd have to lift those shingles to get that under there. And now that you're saying it, I realize that's a bad idea.
Yeah, you're almost always going to cause damage to especially an older roof. Something over 10 years old is going to be, very difficult to get apart to even get that little piece of plastic underneath.
I think the worst part of putting Christmas lights up, though, is taking them down. And I think that people are really in a hurry to get them down and sometimes just kind of yank on the cord, hoping everything will just pull right off. But that's not a good idea, is it?
No. Yeah, you're going to you'll damage the lights, first, and then you'll pull spikes or hangers out of the gutters. You can pull the end cap off, rip the shingle that way as well.
So when I see, some of those spikes that are holding gutters in and eaves troughs on that are kind of loose or sticking out on people's houses, it may be because of past years of not treating them well with Christmas lights that might have been up there?
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Ice and snow, depending on where you're at, is sometimes a bigger reason for them to loosen up. But yeah, sure. Yeah, and not only that, you're dinging the gutters when you're putting ladders on them. A lot of people put the ladder onto the shingle part on the side, and that'll break the shingles. So there's a lot of things to look at. And safety. Climbing on your roof isn't the easiest thing all the time.
No, it really, sometimes some things need to be left to professionals to do. You really probably shouldn't be walking around up there trying to put your lights up and things like that. And some people, not just lights, some people put ornaments up there or those inflatables up there, all kinds of things, and then of course they're tying ropes off and probably maybe using staple guns to do that too. So it's just all kind of bad ideas, right?
Yeah, there's ways to do it. There's a lot of roofing companies getting into decorating for the holidays now too. So if that was an option, that's one way to go. And then there's at least some liability towards everything and some insurance coverage on the people climbing around on the roof. But yeah, you can decorate, but you just got to be careful to you break something, you got to fix it or have it fixed.
Any other tips you have for us?
Climbing on the roof, just be careful and don't do anything that you're not totally comfortable doing or completely able to get back to the ladder with. We see a lot of times people go up, getting on the roof is easy, and then getting off is, a lot harder. So they'll have to call for some help sometimes to get down. So just, be careful and decorate and enjoy, but don't break your roof.
Very good. Yeah, good idea, Bernie. It's one thing that I think a lot of people don't even think about. They're thinking about getting the lights up, taking the lights down, and not thinking about what damage they may be doing to the roof, which should be protected at all costs because none of us want to have to put up a new roof any sooner than we need to.
Absolutely. Yep. It's protecting your biggest investment. Absolutely true.
That sure is. Bernie, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Have a nice one.
You too. That's Bernie Staub, a home improvement expert. He's also an insurance specialist and owner of Prime Roofing Roof Rescue, to talk about be careful with your roof when you're putting your Christmas decorations up. Now, you may say too late. The lights are already up. But now you know for next year and how to take them down more careful. Watch those shingles. Watch your roof as you're doing things up there. It's 3:23.